Hi, what's up, fellas? What's going on? It's a good morning to be alive, because we're luckily not shooting free throws with our coworkers. It's Wake Up Mintzy, presented by Dude Wipes. Both drinking some iced coffee, joined by the suddenly ripped Nikki Smokes. I got to say, I've been following this journey, and I got to say, I'm impressed. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great. Today's actually day 50 of 75, so feeling good. Yeah, it's probably the best thing I've ever done.
Hell yeah. We've also got a side cam we're going to have pulled up on the guys out there shooting free throws, because right now, quite a scene at the Barstool office when we walked in this morning. Dana Beers and Titus, so they have to make 24 straight
Tate.
Yeah, obviously it's Tate's stream, but they called in Titus, and Titus was really funny a minute ago. He came in and he's like the Titus in the morning. I mean, every time there's a shooting contest, they call him in to try to bail him out.
Yeah, no, I if I'm Titus, I would just put my foot down and be like, look, if you guys want to start doing free throw challenges, you can't bring me in as a rule.
But
because it kind of takes away from the point of the stream if you just know you have Titus that's good for 15, 16 in a row. And it's like, what's the point of streaming the other 10 hours?
Yeah, well, so they started at, like 8 or 9 o'clock last night. They got to make 24 straight free throws, and then what's the deal with the 24 beers?
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they had to drink 24 beers, and then any celebrity that wants to shoot has to drink 2 beers to get in, like as a celeb. I don't know. I think that's what the rules are. I'm not quite sure.
Well, it's always a funny scene when you come into the Barstool and they're like the up all night thing, and Mook can't sleep all night, and there's big cats out there shooting some free throws trying to cheer them on, but it's a tough scene out there, Smokes.
Yeah, I think this office needs to start focusing on sleep a little bit more.
Yeah. Dana Beers can like barely feel his right wrist.
I mean, if you were shooting free throws for 12 hours, I don't know how much you could do.
Yeah, it's tough out there. Well, you have been getting some sleep. You're in here. I want to touch on, so Smokes did. I saw your blog. That was the reason I asked you to come on. You wrote a blog about all your journey with the 75 hard, and I love your comment too when you had your pick. You're just like, don't talk about it, be about it. And so what made you decide you wanted to do the 75 hard?
I mean, I was just tired of being miserable. Pretty much every morning I woke up feeling like shit. I've probably been doing the same shit the last 5 years of my life. Like drinking 3-4 times a day.
Per week. No, not a day.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Mixing that with other things that I shouldn't be doing, especially during the week. And just waking up, feeling like shit, eating like shit, looking at myself in the mirror, and it's like, where the fuck did you let yourself go? And I was just tired of falling back into the same cycle over and over again and basically just numbing all my problems away. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this. Like, I'm cutting it out. I'm going to go 75 hard and see how I feel, see what changes. And honestly, it's probably been the best decision I've made in a really long time.
That's awesome. So you just kind of like after 5 years, you were just like, look, I'm making the same mistakes over and over again. Well, it's getting old.
Because I'm 25 now. And I know that's still young to a lot of people, but when you're 25 and you feel like you've been doing the same thing since you were 20.
You started partying when you were young too.
I mean, I was at the club when I was 15 years old. So like I've been out in the scene for a really long time now. And I feel like if I didn't put my foot down now, next thing you know, like I'll be 35 instead of 25 doing the same shit. And like, yeah, I ended up getting my dream job and I'm very grateful for that. But like I could be doing so much more with this opportunity if I wasn't just wasting, so much time boozing. All my money went to fucking booze, alcohol, drugs, and then you're going out, you're getting a dinner on a Tuesday, Wednesday, you have a couple drinks there. Next thing you know, that leans into Wednesday, that leans into Thursday, and then before you know it, you're drinking 4 times, 5 times a week, and it's like, what the fuck, bro? So if I wanted to just grow individually and both professionally, I realized I needed to make a change.
Well, I respect it because it took me till I was like 35 to figure that out, some of that stuff out. Like not but just the boozing and all that. And
right. And it's not like I'll never drink again. I just don't want it to be my identity and like the center point of my life. Yeah,
no, it's a balance thing.
Right. I had no balance. My scale was basically just tipped. And I watched this one YouTube video, Diary of a CEO, and he had this lady come on and they were talking about like the dopamine scale in your brain and how it's supposed to be homeostasis, which is like balanced. And when you're just filling it with alcohol and drugs, it's never balanced, which is why your mood's always swinging and you feel like shit. And I was like, you know what? I want to get back level.
So what the 75 hard thing, you decided it just like after New Year, or you were thinking about it over the holidays? Like, how did that come up?
So basically, I went home for Thanksgiving break. Me and Annika had just broken up for maybe like a month. And I was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to go back home. I'm going to see the family. And I'm going to see all my boys. And I'm going to let my demons out one last time. So for those 2 weeks I spent in Florida, I went balls to the wall. I went out every single day. But I said, once I get back to Chicago, like, boom, that's it.
Locking it up.
I'm done. Yeah. So I got everything out of my system, although it should have already been out of my system because I've been going crazy for 10 years. And then I came here and I said, no, let's just, like, you got to just make a decision and stick with it, because everyone's like, oh, you know what, I'll stop drinking, and then 2 weeks into January they're like, yeah, I'll do it, or I'm gonna get back in the gym. They go 3 days and then they stop. And if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna fucking do it, whether it's a good habit or a bad habit. I go.
Do you have one of those? I have that same personality where it's like you get all in no matter what you do, and it can be really good and it can be really bad. It's like channeling it positively.
Exactly.
So what did you do any research on 75 hard? Like what made you decide to do that?
So, well, the only reason why I ended up on 75 hard is because my original plan was to do 90 days sober, and then I realized St. Patrick's Day in Chicago.
And that's fair, because St. Patrick's Day.
I'm not missing that. Like, I love St. Patrick's Day. It's one of my favorite holidays, and St. Patrick's Day ends on 75. Like the 75th day. I was like, all right.
That's a sign from the universe.
I was like, yeah, that's perfect. You know what? 75 will work great. So that's kind of how I ended up on that. And then I guess the routine basically came from TikTok, where it's just 2 workouts, read a chapter of a book, kind of like post a picture in the gym or some shit like that. But really, I don't care about all the fugazi shit. Like, I do read the books, like my own books, but that's just out of me wanting to learn certain shit. But the whole 75 hard challenge thing, it kind of just fell in my lap. I really just care about being in the gym twice a day.
Yeah, and you're in here, and I'll say the smoke. You always come at like 8 a.m. So do you what are you doing on the workout balance stuff right now?
In terms of
like you're lifting and then you do cardio?
Yeah. So in the morning I'll hit, because I split everything up into 2s. So Monday I'll do chest and shoulders. Tuesday I'll do legs and back, and then Wednesday back to chest, shoulders. Thursday back to legs, back. Friday arms. So in the morning I'll come in, I'll hit chest, and then in the afternoon I'll do my shoulders, abs, cardio, and I'm doing cardio every single day, 7 days a week.
Nice. So you're doing cardio 7 days, and then you're doing like I saw you're walking at like a 12 incline.
Yeah. So I started at 10 incline at 3 miles per hour, and then every week I bump it up, the incline up by 0.5. Until I got to 12, and then I slowly started increasing the speed till I got to 3.5, and now I just do 12 incline at 3.5 speed.
And then I also want to ask about diet-wise. So I know you're just prepping all your meals. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so the diet is honestly the most important thing, and that's probably what's given me the most results. And I feel like a lot of people miss that. I missed it for most of my life because I would go to the gym. Like in high school, early college, always in the gym, but I was always eating like shit, always boozing, and you're just basically negating all the work that you put into it. So the meal prep I have, and I don't prep it because I have time to go home and cook it at night. It's very simple. Breakfast, it's 3 eggs, turkey bacon, half an avocado, protein shake. Lunch is cauliflower rice, your choice of protein shake, and then dinner is protein, cauliflower rice, and healthy carbs, not cards. I misspelled that on my thing, but like sweet potatoes, and then yogurt. It's there's this protein Okos. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's like a protein yogurt with blueberries, and that's pretty much it.
Are you getting sick of the food? Like how's
No, I don't get sick of it because one, I love eating steak. It's my favorite thing. I get different cuts of steak. I cook that up. Different types of, you could do anything. You could do tacos, burgers, chicken. I do chicken tacos, fajitas. Like, it's very, like, the protein base is obviously the same, but the meals that you can make within that is, there's a lot of range.
Hey man, I respect it. It's a good plan. So what's the old saying? You can't outrun a bad diet. That's what you really,
yeah.
Would you say it's like, the diet versus exercise? Diet's what, like 75-80%?
I'd say the diet's the most important thing. Yeah, I'd say 80%. Realistically, you could lose weight by just changing your diet and doing cardio. I'm only lifting because I also want to get big and muscular again. But if you're just on a weight loss journey, I would just grind out the cardio and change your diet, and you don't even have to worry about lifting. The lifting is really just to tone.
Yeah, it's the diet. The diet thing's the craziest part. So how much better do you feel?
I feel amazing, honestly. My mood in the morning is just way better. My creativity has been way better. My work has been through the roof in terms of productivity and not second guessing myself and kind of just letting shit rip without thinking twice. Because, you know, working here, having to come up with new shit, sometimes you get in a slump, you hesitate on what you should and shouldn't do. But now it's kind of just like, you know what, fuck them, we ball, let that shit rip and let it fly.
Hell yeah, man. Well, I'm just glad you're feeling so much better. And then, I don't know, like I said, you got abs now. And
yeah, that's great. That'll be great for summertime shy for sure.
Yeah, you feel like you're putting in the work. And then the St. Patty's Day thing, I mean, you're going to have like 2 drinks and be buzzing now.
Bro, yeah, I'm going to be hammered. I mean, but, hey, that first sip will definitely be worth it. I will say, though, if I go back to my old ways after St. Patrick's Day, I think I'll cut booze out for the rest of my life.
Yeah, you got that is going to be interesting to see. How have you been going? So have you been going out to the club? You know,
yeah, I mean, I've gone out every single weekend since I started this, and I don't know why people think that you have to basically lock yourself up in your apartment because you're not drinking. I really think it depends on the group of friends that you have and who you go out with. I've had friends I go out with who encourage me and are like, they don't make it a big deal. They're not talking about it like, oh, you're not drinking, blah, 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 blah. No, like, we're all just out there having a good time. And then I've gone out with people that are like, bro, like, how are you not drinking? You know, just giving me a hard time busting my balls. So I just don't go out with those people. But if you go out with the right group, people that truly respect you and care about you and love you as a person, they don't care if you're drinking or not. You go out, you have fun. I've met plenty of girls. They hear I'm not drinking. They don't care. Like, we still hit it off. Like, it's the notion that you have to get hammered to leave your house or go to a bar or go to a concert is kind of ridiculous. And now if you said that to me 50 days ago, I would have been the prick that's like, oh, why are you at the bar? But then you step into those shoes and you're like, you know what? I kind of get it now.
Hell yeah, yeah. No, I respect. Well, the thing I've noticed with it, and I've been off the booze for almost 5 years, it's like anyone that gives you shit about that sucks.
Right.
Like, we're all just trying to be better people.
Yeah, I took a girl out on Saturday, and I was really scared to like tell her I wasn't drinking, especially on like a first date. You know, it's like a good icebreaker, whatever. And once I mentioned I wasn't drinking, she was like totally fine with it and almost supported it. And I was like, oh, like, thank God, you know? And I was like, you know, like, that's a sign of a good person, I'd say.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like I said, do you just like, what I've noticed, you just drink like water or sparkling water, or just have something in your hand?
I usually just do sparkling water with a lemon. That's it.
Just sit there and chill. What like, can you just, the thing with going to bars when you're sober, like, I feel like I can do it for like an hour or 2, but I can't do it for like.
I can't go as long as I wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, I still put in a 4-hour shift. Like, we'll go out at 8. I'll be back 11:30, 12 in bed. So I can still hang. I'm just not out till 4 in the morning anymore, which is nice.
Yeah, and you said you're just feeling tons better waking up.
Yep. And I'd say one of the biggest things of, like, getting clean is you just start stacking days, if that makes sense. Like, just what you accomplish Monday, you wake up Tuesday, it rolls over, but you really start to see it when it gets to Friday and everyone else is like out boozing, enjoying life. Nothing wrong with that. But if you're not, you wake up Saturday, it's like, all right, I don't have to spend the first 4.5 hours of my day feeling like shit, you know, getting back to normal. It's just boom, like, you're right back into it. And then that from Friday, Saturday to Sunday, like, those 3 days right there, I mean, it's made a world of difference for me.
Dude, hell yeah. Like I said, I know I'm pumping your tires, but like, I'm legitimately inspired by it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Like
that.
I said, I obviously fight the health stuff, and like, I'll go on these like roller coaster, you know, like when you talked about just don't talk about it, be about it. Cause like, I'm constantly like, I'll crush it for a month or 2, but then I'll fall off.
And I feel like that's kind of normal. And to be honest with you, like, I'm grateful for social media in terms of it held me accountable. because if I wasn't, like sharing my story or like receiving messages from people about, hey, like you really inspired me, this, that, like I probably could have fell off, because before I did the 75 hard, I tried to get back in shape, I think back in September or October, and I probably went hard for about 4 weeks and then didn't touch a weight for another 2 months. And then, yeah, January came around. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, we're going to do this shit.
Yeah, this is a great time of year for it, too. It's freezing up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just you got to get in that mode. But I don't know, man. Like I said, I got nothing respect for it. I think it's freaking awesome. Man, like I said, and dude, the fact is, too, how fast did these 50 days go? I mean, you're 2/3 of the way there.
Yeah. Shit. They went real quick. I just realized, like, dude, I only got 3 more weeks of this and I'm good to go. But it's definitely, it's worth it. And I'd probably say out of the 50 days, I've only had like 3 alcohol cravings, and it's the last 3 Fridays. But once I get through that, it hasn't been too bad.
How also on the Barstool front, y'all been building the pitch picks. I know you've gotten real into the Euro soccer. How's that going?
It's been amazing. We're starting to really grow on TikTok, which is phenomenal. We got a couple things lined up here. I don't want to spoil it before pen gets to paper, but some really big things coming that could really help our page grow, especially when the World Cup comes. I'll say that.
Hell yeah, that's next summer, right?
Yeah.
Next summer in LA?
Yep. Well, I mean, it's all.
It's all North America. It's LA, Mexico, Canada. It's all over. Yeah, it's New York. Yeah, U.S. Yeah. It's in. The finals is.
They got games in Florida, New York,
Jerry
LA.
World. Yeah, Giant Stadium. Hell yeah. How's I know you've turned into how's your team doing in the Premier League?
Arsenal, they're doing good. They're in second place right now. They got a lot of injuries on their squad, unfortunately. I don't think they'll be able to catch Liverpool, so they'll do what they do best and finish second. I don't know why I picked them. I could have picked any team, and I picked a team that's exactly like the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, okay. It's like a logo
thing.
They
both went undefeated. They both haven't won in 20 years. It's brutal.
Yeah, well, I also want to mention your Florida alum. I know you've been kind of following a little bit from distance, dude. Florida Gators basketball right now.
I heard they're really good.
They're top 3.
I watched.
I saw
your
tweet was epic. You're like, I've watched enough Florida basketball this year to know that we're elite.
You like that one?
Like 1,000 likes.
I haven't watched a game.
Yeah, you watched one game.
I watched one game.
What did they lost 3-4 games?
Yeah, and they lost it. I said, no, I'm not going to watch it again.
Ooh, that's so funny. But yeah, Florida also. Man, I think the football thing next year. I mean, everybody.
They're going to win the national championship,
dude. Everybody was on Napier's ass, but down the stretch, y'all beat Ole Miss, beat LSU, broke our hearts. DJ Lagway is going to be like a Heisman.
Stud. Defense was unbelievable at the end of the year.
Dude, unbelievable.
And they were our biggest problem at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, man.
Him and Graham Mertz was fucking horrible, but I think they're going to win the national championship.
I mean, I think their schedule is like bloody murder.
I mean, it was already bloody murder.
Yeah, but they're, man, I think they're going to be really, really good. They're at LSU week 3.
I believe every SEC team's schedule is just murder.
Yeah, but Florida's is even worse. Like, I mean, I saw.
Is it worse than last year?
Y'all play the same exact schedule you played last year, except the SEC's doing it where it was for 2 years. You play the same schedule. It's just flipped road home. So y'all play the same. Y'all go to Ole Miss,
but then again,
LSU,
you got to remember that the teams from last year aren't the same as this year.
No, but Florida's going to be freaking awesome.
That's what I'm saying.
I know. The Napier thing. Everybody was like acting like he was going to get fired. And now he's just totally 180'd it.
And honestly, I thought it was very soft when I think it was our AD, or I don't even know if we have an AD, but they came out and said we're not going to fire Napier, and everyone was all, "Oh, this is bullshit." But it appears to be the right decision as of now. Again, he's got to go out there and get this team in the playoffs this year.
Yeah. Well,
because if he doesn't, I think he will be fired.
Last thing, I know you've been mad at the Dolphins. Any hope?
No, they sucked. They're fucking dead to me. The franchise is feeble. The owner, Stephen Ross, is, how do I put this nicely? Let's just call him senile, soft, to keep Chris Greer around, a guy that's been with the team for 20 years, 0 playoff wins to show for. Constantly missing in the draft, and I know it's not easy to draft. He's had some hits, but when it comes to the biggest decisions in franchise history, he's missed them. And then you just go out there and you're like, I know what, yeah, we're going to keep Greer, we're going to keep McDaniel. Meanwhile, you have this loaded roster on paper, and they could barely win 9 games. Didn't even make the playoffs this year. One of the most pathetic, depressing seasons I've had as a Dolphins fan, and I've seen them go 1-15. So I'll always root for them. I'll always love them, but I'm done getting excited for them. They could sign whoever the fuck they want in free agency. They could draft whoever they want. Until I see them win a game in December and in January, I ain't buying into it.
Where are you on Tua right now?
Get him out.
Yeah, that's the.
And I love Tua. He's a great guy. He's one of the nicest people I've ever met. He's a good quarterback. He's never going to win us the division as long as Josh Allen's there. And we've had opportunities to do it, and he hasn't shown up in the big moments. And every time we need him on the field late in the year, he's hurt. It's been 5 years, and I just don't know how many times we're going to sit here and see the same story happen over and over again and just be like, oh, we just got to keep him healthy. Well, no shit. We've had to keep him healthy for 5 years. We've done it one time, and we wonder why, we're 9-8, because we don't have our quarterback for 6 games every year.
Yeah, well, I mean, I agree. I couldn't believe last year I didn't sign a backup, like with Tua's injury history.
It's crazy. Again, Chris Greer. But, hey, he still has a job.
Yeah, there you go. Well, awesome, man. Well, I'm just, like I said, shout out to the 75 Hard thing.
Thank you, brother.
It's fun following it. You're down like 15?
Yeah.
But you're gaining muscle, too, though. So
yeah, which is good.
It's like a strong 15. Like, I'm down 12, but it's like that's like you losing 25, you know?
Yeah. I'm at I stepped on the scale this morning. I was 188.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
And you were 205?
205.
That's freaking awesome. Well, keep it up. Thanks for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us this morning. Appreciate it. Definitely love following the Smokes. The rejuvenation of Nicky Smokes. I mean, what an all-American story. We got Tyler Moody. We're gonna bring Moody up. They're also the free throw stream's still going, man. That's I wonder if they're ever gonna be able to finish this damn thing. Some stuff. What's up, Moody? How are you this morning?
Yo, what's up, brother? Good morning. I'm on the opposite side of Nicky Smokes right now. He's down 15. I think I'm up 15 over the if not more, over the course of the year. So I'm going in the opposite direction. I might need to tap in as well because your boy, I'm usually not big. I weigh like 205 right now. But, dude,
I've never seen you like bigger than 185, 190. You're always lean.
Yeah, I'm usually 185, 190. I'm usually in pretty good tune, but I'm over 200 right now myself. So I might have to tap in for a hard 75.
Yeah, no, he's killing it. All right, got a bunch of stuff to touch on. Did you see what happened to Ryan, the producer, yesterday?
I did not know.
Dude, so on the Yak, he was playing goalie for the Gauntlet, and he laid out on the wood floor, and he just totally dislocated his shoulder, dude. It was terrible.
Hell yeah. Hey, that's commitment, though.
But the thing about Ryan, dude, he was in here. He's got a sling on. He was in here 8:30 this morning, and I was like, damn, dude. Because, I mean, he was, laid out. Dude, it was a full bad thing, but I wanted to make sure I gave him a shout-out.
I dislocated my shoulder one time, my left shoulder. I was pitching. Had a comebacker to me close to first base. I'm off the mound, going to my left, trying to get it. And as I went to field the baseball, I stepped on my glove, yanked myself down like this, slammed into the ground, and dislocated my shoulder in the 5th inning of a championship game, a summer tournament, and did not get a chance to finish that. So
was it your pitching shoulder?
No, it was my left arm, so it wasn't that big of a deal. I healed up that summer, and I was good to go for my senior year, but. Yeah, it's interesting how you can pop your shoulder out or dislocate it. It's not a fun thing, I'll tell you that, getting it popped back in.
No. Well, all right, some other topics I got for today. Dude, what the hell? Okay, college basketball. Obviously, you and me talk about it. It's like a couple months a season, thing. Moody, what has happened to Kansas basketball? Did you see they lost 91-57 at BYU last night? BYU's lost by 34. This is going to be the first time they're not a top 4 or 5 seed in the tourney, and God knows how long. I thought that was
Bill Self, one of the best coaches in the history of college basketball and all of sports. His consistency year after year after year has been one of the more impressive things in all of sports. And so to see Kansas fall off like that really is crazy. Yeah,
and then some stuff for tonight that'll be big. Alabama, I don't know if you saw over the weekend that number 1 versus 2 Auburn-Bama game. Bama lost at home. Bama at Missouri tonight. Missouri a 1.5-point favorite on DraftKings. Fascinating game, Moody. Missouri's top 15, top 20 good. What's Bama's mindset going to be after losing to their arch rival at home? Their last 7 games, they play 5 top 10 teams, dude. It's their schedule the rest of the way. I went through it last night. It's at Mizzou, Mississippi State at home. They play Florida. They play Tennessee. I mean, and they still got to go to Auburn one more time. It's freaking bananas how hard their schedule is. But, like, if you like college basketball, the Bama-Missouri game tonight, super, super fascinating. I'm not sure what I think. Like, I'm inclined to think Bama's resilient with Nate Oates and they'll bounce back. But, like, Missouri's freaking good, man. They're really good. And, like, you look at this SEC this year, Moody, 10 teams probably going to make the tournament. I mean, the only teams that aren't are LSU, Oklahoma, South Carolina, and then, like, Georgia and Vandy are on the bubble. Probably Georgia's probably out. But, like, what the hell happened? Like, the SEC's always the football, baseball league. And, like, there's never been anything like this in basketball. It's crazy how dominant the SEC's become in basketball.
Yeah, no, it's suddenly a basketball conference. I'll be honest, I haven't watched a second of college basketball the entire season, so I'm probably not the best person for that conversation. But I didn't have to do any college basketball games this year. Normally for ESPN Plus, I did a lot of Southland Conference basketball. I haven't had to do those this year, and I am not tapped in on college basketball in the slightest.
No, well, also, I'll make this quick. Following the college baseball class, dude, the midweek games yesterday were awesome. It's just great having it on. Like, Ole Miss had a 2-run walk-off on opening day to beat Arkansas State. But some upsets, man. Those midweek baseball games, like, a lot of times you'll have the good G5 teams will be playing the Power 5 teams. And it's like, I don't want to say a Super Bowl to the G5 teams, but, like, Southern Miss beat Mississippi State 3-0. Texas State beat Oklahoma State 4-2. Troy, who's top 25, lost on a walk-off at Auburn 7-6 last night. Could have won. Liberty, Mint's pick yesterday, plus 220 money line, winning 9-8 at NC State. But there's value in the midweek. Like, I always just take the big dogs. And, like, yesterday on DraftKings, they've got all these games. But I went 2-2 on my games, but I had big underdogs, and so I won 1.3 units. I had Liberty plus 220 and Southern Miss plus 110 win. And freaking Troy blew that Auburn game. I had Troy pick them at Auburn, and they were up and let Auburn come back. But yeah, just loving having the college baseball. And I know it's just the beginning of the year, but, man, it's just such a fun product. And I want to mention a guy. Have you seen Sasaki, the Stanford Japanese guy, yet?
I have seen this kid. Yeah, he can swing. He may be the best pure hitter in all of college baseball already. Like, this dude, he can play.
Yeah, man. It's broke Shohei Ohtani's home run record in Japan. And then, he hadn't hit a home run yet, but he had 5 RBIs in the game Sunday. But I thought that was pretty awesome. Also, I know one of your favorite times of year. You love it when the baseball starts, but people getting out to spring training.
Yep. Yeah, pitchers and catchers reporting. We are slowly but surely working our way to spring training. Obviously, the Alex Bregman signing the other day, kind of one of the last big pieces remaining on the free agency market. Pete Alonso went back to the Mets, so most of the key guys that were out there that were going to be difference makers this season have now signed on with teams. And, I guess the real story right now is this Rafael Devers thing with the Red Sox, whether or not he's going to move off third base to become a DH for Bregman. The real thing is that they want to get Christian Campbell, who is a stud, roared his way to the top of the top 100 rankings. The Red Sox want to find a way to get him in the lineup at second base. That means playing Bregman at third, Rafi Devers at DH, but Devers is giving some pushback. It may turn into a whole thing. If Devers will not be selfish and, put the team first, I think the Red Sox are being one of the best teams in baseball.
Well, so Bregman went there. What did you think Justin Turner going to sign with the Cubs at 40 years old? Did I see this?
Yeah, Justin Turner at this point, still a great hitter, professional hitter, will give you good at-bats. There's just not much pop left. If you're bringing in Justin Turner at this point, you're bringing him in as a clubhouse guy, a guy that can give you some good at-bats. He's not necessarily a difference maker at this point in his career, though.
What do you think? Obviously there's a lot of Cubs hype in Chicago. They got Kyle Tucker, but Bellinger left. How do you think they're going to be this year?
I think they're going to be another set for another average season, slightly better than average. They're not spending the money when they really need to. They had the 4th best offer out for Alex Bregman. The fans are on the Ricketts' ass. I mean, the Cubs have one of the highest ticket prices, some of the best revenue in all of baseball, yet they range in 11 to 14 as far as the amount of money that they spend. Cubs fans are very upset with the Ricketts and the ownership right now of the Cubs. So I think if they're set for another average-ass season, I just don't see Kyle Tucker making them that good. The best part for them is that division's not that great either. Yeah, the Brewers won it last year, but the Brewers have some holes in their
They can
roster as
pitch, but
well.
they can't hit, right?
Yeah, they're okay. They, obviously William Contreras. They got Hoskins, who missed a big portion of the season. He's gonna be fully healthy. So like, I love Jackson Churio. So there are definitely things to like with the Brewers, but they have some holes. Same thing can be said for the Cubs. There is not a complete team in the National League Central. I actually feel like the NL Central is the most up for grabs division in all of baseball.
All right. Any other teams sleeper wise you're watching going in?
I'm on the Rangers again this year.
I
think
can see it though. Well, what happened last? I mean, they won the title in 2023, and they just like last year, just what went wrong?
Yeah, well, DeGrom being injured obviously was a huge part of that. Corey Seager missed time. Adolis Garcia took a big step back. Josh Young, we missed damn near the entire season with a wrist injury. But this season, assuming health, the Rangers are going to be freaking good. If Jacob DeGrom is healthy and gives us 25 plus starts, Kumar Rocker, a guy who was an absolute monster in college. I mean, and he has been dicing people up all the way through the minor leagues, had Tommy John surgery, returned from TJ, and he still looks good. The Rangers have all of the weapons. They brought in Jock Peterson. They brought in Jake Berger. This is a team that's going to hit a ton of home runs. The question is going to be, can they pitch? If the Rangers pitch well, they win the division, and the Astros' reign is over. And I have already taken the Rangers plus 230 to win the American League West.
All right, there you go. Is DeGrom healthy right now?
DeGrom is healthy. He's expected to open up the season. Fingers crossed. I mean, Jacob DeGrom being healthy is one of the biggest, most important things to the Rangers' success. And obviously has to be the same DeGrom that we've grown to know over the course of these years. But damn, son, if he can stay healthy and give us just one elite season, it'll make the contract worth it. I think the American League is wide open for a team to win it. And don't let the Rangers get in the playoffs, because they're the type of team with the type of coaching that could win the American League.
All right. So love the Rangers going into this year. I'm just super excited about I'm following Tim Elko at White Sox spring training, really hoping he makes the team, because I'm waiting to hop on this. I mean, the White Sox need fans here. That's for damn sure. After they lose 130 games last year. Crazy.
They were absolutely brutal. One of the worst teams in the history of baseball.
They had the all-time loss record.
Yeah. I mean, they're just purely one of the worst teams that there's ever been in baseball. I don't think they're going to be that much better, but at least Elko will make them fun. I expect Luis Robert will probably be healthy this year. That was one of the reasons they lost so many games. But hopefully he'll be healthy, and we can see the White Sox win at least 40 games this year.
God bless us so bad. Well, I want to thank Smoke for coming on. We got Stu Feiner on in the morning. Can't wait to get some of that Stu energy here. Check out, are they still shooting free throws?
Let's see. I'm sure they are. Take a little gander.
Yep. I wonder how long. I mean, dude, this thing's been going 13 or 14 hours, man. I'm hoping for their sake they can get this thing done. It was like 24 free throws and a bunch of beers, but, I admire the persistence and dedication. Oh, wow, he's hot right now.
They need you to go in there and carry them, Mintz.
Yeah, my free throw shooting, man. I don't. I think I'd have to temper expectations. But,
what's the most free throws that you've ever made in a row?
I have no idea, because I'm not much of a shooting basketball, man. It's tough. It's tough for me. It's definitely not a strength. What about you? Can you shoot free throws?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I haven't really shot free throws in a while, but I mean, I played basketball all the way until my senior year. I only played baseball my senior year, but I think the most I've ever made in a row was like 18. I was your typical. So I actually made the varsity team as a freshman at Elysian Fields. This is before I moved school. So I played varsity basketball. I've got a great varsity basketball story. As a freshman, we're playing in Center, Texas, some big 5A Texas school. I'm my very first taste of action. I pass the ball in. We're bringing it up the backcourt. The point guard's bringing it up. I'm with him. He gets it stolen away from him. All of a sudden, it's a 3-on-1 fast break, and I'm the one person back as a tiny freshman trying to defend this 3-on-1 fast break. I'm backpedaling. I lose my footing, fall down directly underneath the basket, and this dude yams and freaking lands right beside me. And I legitimately, as I was falling back, hurt my wrist, actually hurt my wrist. But I'm telling my coach, hey, bro, I think I hurt my wrist. I can't dribble. And he just thought that I was scared of the moment. He thought it rattled me. But I legitimately hurt myself on the play. But dude, my very first taste of high school basketball, I fall down, get yammed on, and the whole gym. We're on the road at Center, Texas. Whole gym's just like let me have it as a poor little freshman, bro. If it was on video, it would be a classic. It was.
Oh, I would pay so much money to see that video. Was that the end of your basketball career after your freshman year?
No, I played up until I moved schools, went to Evangel. Only played baseball once I got to Evangel. So they basically said, hey, look, you got a chance to play college baseball. Let's just focus on this. So that was the decision that was made. That was probably one of the two lowest points of my sports career, though, was getting yammed on while I was just laying there watching. It was brutal, bro. Highly embarrassing moment for me.
Jeez, I would have loved. I would have paid to see that video. Well, awesome. We got Stu on tomorrow, and good luck to the guys still shooting free throws. And shout out to Barstool Ryan being back. Let's have a day, boys. Let's make it great.